UCS. UCS is unconditioned stimulus. You need to know the abbreviation and the full term. Know it all. UCS is unconditioned stimulus that's creating the UCR, unconditioned response. So the unconditioned stimulus creates the unconditioned response. Now, in Pavlov's example, the unconditioned stimulus was food, and the unconditioned response was drooling or salivating. So if you put food in the dog's mouth, it's going to start to drool or salivate. He would put meat powder in the dog's mouth. But if you put food in front of the dog or put food in the dog's mouth, it's going to start to drool or salivate. This thing here, this unconditioned stimulus, unconditioned response, is just a natural reflex. We all have this. There's nothing we can do to control it. Even humans do this too. Like if I put a piece of pizza under your nose or something like that, your mouth would start to water. So you would start to drool as well. Now, another example of an unconditioned stimulus and unconditioned response would be if I blow a puff of air in your eye, it's going to cause you to blink. So the puff of air would be the unconditioned stimulus. The eye blink would be the unconditioned response. Now, what Pavlov wanted to do was he wanted to make this drooling response, this unconditioned response, happen to some other stimulus besides food. So what he started to do was he would ring a bell before he fed a dog. And he did this over and over again. So now we get to the during part. So during conditioning or during learning, you took what Pavlov called an NS is neutral stimulus, and you're pairing it with the unconditioned stimulus. So the neutral stimulus is being paired with the unconditioned stimulus. In Pavlov's example, the neutral stimulus is a bell that's being paired with food. So he's ringing a bell and giving the dog food and doing this over and over and over again. Now it's still creating the same unconditioned response because the dog is still responding to the food that's being presented. So it's still an unconditioned response, an unconditioned stimulus, but it's hearing the bell and getting fed. Now enough times of hearing that bell and getting fed, hearing a neutral stimulus, and then getting an unconditioned stimulus, you'll start to make this response to the bell, to the neutral stimulus. This is where we get to the after part. So eventually, you can ring that bell, and that dog will start to drool. And now the neutral stimulus has become what Pavlov called the CS, is conditioned stimulus. So CS is conditioned stimulus that's creating the CR is conditioned response. And conditioned means learned. So conditioned stimulus creating the conditioned response. So that's classical conditioning. Know all those parts and pieces, know the definitions for it, know the abbreviations, know it all. And know Pavlov's example, but also understand real world examples. So some of you in here, if any of you in here have ever owned a cat and you feed it wet food every once in a while out of a can,